My health symptoms were absolutely taking me out. I had so many awful things going on in my body. The things that were the biggest, though, right, was the acne that I had on my face, my chest, and my back for literally decades that I just couldn't resolve. And the weight gain, I could gain 5 pounds in a day for no good reason. It was so frustrating. And no matter what I did, I couldn't lose it and keep it off. It just wasn't possible. And I had arthritic symptoms in my hands when I was younger and, varicose veins that were so painful. Let me tell you, the list was endless. And, those are all my symptoms. I even had, receding gums and receding enamel on my teeth. And that's considered something called symptomatology, or you can even call it symptomology. Symptomology. They're a little bit interchangeable. And, that's where you take a group of symptoms and you treat them, right? Or you take that group of symptoms and then you give a diagnosis, right? You give some sort of diagnosis like, oh, you have this disease. I'm going to tell you just what to do about that in just a moment. Hi, this is Robin Nielsen, CEO and founder of Natural Hormone Solution. And if we approach our health symptoms in that way, meaning addressing the symptoms that you're experiencing or taking those symptoms and then creating a diagnosis around it, then we become that because that's what we're focusing on. We're focusing on what's wrong. And what we really need to be focusing on is the why. Why are these things happening? And what's so interesting is that we could have the same kind of issues, right? Root causes. There's always more than one. We can have the same root causes, but manifest them differently. So, each one of us might have similar root causes, but our bodies show those symptoms in a different way because we're all biodiverse. Our bodies are all different. We have different genetics. We have different epigenetics. We have different environmental influences on our bodies. So symptoms show up differently, but it could be the same or similar root causes. So instead of focusing on the symptoms, like weight gain, that's a biggie. Most of us have that as a complaint, or, our thyroid is messed up, or, maybe it's skin issues. A big one also is fatigue. I'm exhausted, right? Those are big symptoms that we experience. Maybe fibromyalgia. Instead of focusing on that, focus on the why. What is causing your body to be out of balance? And that's why focusing on hormone balance is so important, because when you get your hormones more balanced, and I'm talking about those biggies that influence our minor hormones, our cortisol and insulin, when we get those two hormones more in balance, magic happens. So you want to look at systems in your body that need support. You want to look at, what nutrients are missing? What vitamins and minerals do I need to replace so that my body can function optimally? And how do I need to take care of myself in a way that really supports better hormone balance? And when we start looking at things that way, and we start taking just small steps over time, all of a sudden the weird symptoms start to go away. I didn't focus on the dry elbows that I had. I must have tried 50 different types of lotion and nothing helped relieve my dry elbows. But when I got healthy, all of a sudden I had soft elbows. When I got healthy, right, my enamel on my teeth grew back. My receding gums grew back and healed. And my skin completely cleared up. After 3 decades of having acne, I had beautiful skin for the first time in my life. For the first time ever, I didn't have to diet. My weight was stable. So let's take a look at the why. What are those root causes that are taking you out? What we use in our programs are symptom assessments for different systems in your body and testing. That gives you the objective information that you just can't learn anywhere else. So start asking the question, why? Why are these symptoms happening? Because your body is talking to you. And now is the time to listen. All right, sending you so much love. Mwah.